everybody, so I'm back for another lockdown tip. So I'm just talking to you today about core and how much exercise you're actually doing and actually the perspective that that has on your dog. So what I mean by that is often people tell me that their dogs aren't walking very far, and I say, okay, so how far are they going? And they might say, oh, it's only a couple of 100 meters, but then I say, well, how long are they actually out for? And then they'll say, well, 40 minutes, an hour. I mean, they just sniff. And I say, well, do they actually lay down on that walk? And they say, no. So actually that dog has been stood up and had their muscles engaged for an awful long time. So you have to remember that that means that the body is actually weight bearing and all these muscles are engaged to keep that standing position. So for some perspective on this, they say that if you're training for a marathon, if you're an office worker and you sit down all day, it's a lot harder to train for your marathon than if you actually are stood up and running around and sort of, just walking around in your day, weight bearing. So what I tend to suggest to people is that you actually measure your walks in terms of duration, how long it takes, rather than how far you've gone. Okay, so I tend to suggest no more than 30 minutes for any of my arthritic patients particularly. There does have to be a caveat there that obviously if they're younger and need the mental stimulation, you might have to make some adjustments with that. Or equally, it depends on the stage of arthritis. If they're early stage and they can cope with it a little bit more, then maybe that's okay. So get some guidance on that. But if you do want to spice it up a little bit and do a little bit more movement and core engagement with your dog while they're stood up, this is a nice one to do. So Logan, your turn. Yes, it is. Come on then. So I'm just going to get a treat. And actually I can do this with Logan if he sat down, if that's what he wants to do. All you're going to do is just put the treat over to this side. I'm very kind in giving it him each time, that's okay because he's not overweight. Logan, there you go. And you see move it across, you can see he has to move his body weight and therefore engage the muscles on each arm as he leans from one side to the other. So that's a nice gentle exercise, it's just a weight shift and it will engage core right the way down through them and obviously massively engage their front legs, but you have to appreciate that when you do anything on any part of the body, then it has a great effect on the rest of the body as it compensates for that movement. So that is your lockdown tip for today. I hope you're all staying well and staying well. Bye bye.